Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Joe at Vaulted Assets X. It is late Thursday night here in Florida, almost midnight, 11:12 p.m. I wanted to do a quick recap video of my experience at the National in Chicago. Such a great time. Met so many cool people that I met on YouTube, people that I met on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and the experience was anything beyond what I could imagine going in. So I went with a buddy of mine, Josh Rips, and we tag teamed the event most of the time. And not only did we just have a lot of fun doing cards, but we made some pretty cool memories too. And what I want to do with this video is focus more on my purchases, why I purchased some things, some deals that I got at the show, and what the plan is moving forward. So this is a recap. I'm going to go through each photo, kind of give an overview, and I'm going to do my best to remember what I paid for each and what the plan is. So let's get started. So this is a sealed 1975 Topps baseball rack pack. It is sealed by BBCE, Baseball Card Exchange, who I met at the show. Steve Hart, great guy. I recommend his website. But this is a sealed rack pack. I had pretty good luck selling these at $2,000 and more. I picked this one up for about $1,300 at the show. There were three of them total, and I cleared them all out for $3,900. So I purchased this one. I purchased this one as well. This one's a little bit more expensive because, as you can see on the bottom of the screen, there's a Hall of Famer as the top card, Lou Brock. St. Louis Cardinal great. Rest in peace, Lou Brock. But for these type of wrap packs, there's a premium paid if there are stars on the top of the pack or also on the back. So this other one is even better, that you have Dave Winfield, another Hall of Famer, at the top of the pack. And just trying to look here, there's also, like I said, rookie pitchers in the middle, but that's nothing special. To give some context, there was another pack of these at the National with Nolan Ryan on the top, which is basically one of the top players you can get. And for that pack, the guy wanted $5,500. So scooping these up for $1,300 each, I thought was a steal. I'm going to list them in my eBay store, like at $2,200, $2,400, and $2,600. See how it goes. The last batch I had, I sold out within a month. So I expect these to sell out in the same pace. Next pickup. So this was shortly before the National, but I wanted to include it. Kobe Bryant on card auto. It is 149 out of 149. So it's the bookend. The top loader that it's in, sorry, not the top loader, but the card encasement makes the card look kind of in crappy condition, but I assure you it's in really good condition. I'm going to send it out to get graded and probably get it BGS'd up in 010 auto. Pretty confident of that. I forget what I paid for this one. I want to say I paid $2,600 for this, if I remember. Next card, this was another one before the National, 1980 Topps. Magic Bird Irving, iconic rookie card. So the story of this one is pretty interesting. So I was offered four of these at once. I couldn't get to a deal on all four because it was just too much money. But what I did was the person let me pick out the best of the four, and I was able to pay the price he wanted for all four on that one. So that was pretty cool, the deal to do. We didn't have to do that. So in my opinion, this is as good as a 9. If I sent this out to Mike Baker, he'd probably sticker it up and give it at least a silver. But this has insane eye appeal, and I'm going to ask a premium for it. But these cards are increasingly harder to get. The guts it takes to crack out an 8 and to try to get these all signed and then resub it. Most people won't do it. They'll just pay up and get the card. So again, top tier card, top tier players, and I like it. Next one, another pre-national pickup. So this is an interesting card. So 2007, 2008 Upper Deck Remnants. I think this is a sleeper card. So this card, when I purchased it, there wasn't a lot of sales data on it. And the Beckett graded the 6.5, which is because of the foiling around the numbers. So if you see the 2003, you see the foiling around the edges. The foiling is very, we'll say, brittle and doesn't hold up very well, and it gets crushed on grading. So that's why a lot of people will stay away from these cards in general. But the 6.5 is a solid grade in my opinion, and it auto-tend, which is the most important part of these cards anyway. So a raw version of this card out of 50 with only a triple patch with no color did $6,800 recently. So with out of 25, and you have the color of the red on the 0 with a 10 auto, I think, in my opinion, this is a $15,000 to $20,000 card. The cheapest one listed on eBay, which is the out of 50, is listed for $15,000. I think this card has insane eye appeal, and it's just going to take time for people to remember this set and to not discount the Remnants insert line. I think for some reason it has a bad rap, but I'm a huge fan of it, and there's huge value there. This is a card I actually picked up at the National. This is the Olajuwon Skybox Molten. There's a silver version of this, which is the more expensive version that a lot of people go after. Why did I pick up this card? I think Olajuwon is underrated. I'm not saying he's in the same class. You know, you can make the argument that Tim Duncan and Olajuwon are both underrated. I think Olajuwon has more upside because he's still involved in the NBA at a high level. But one thing that people don't realize either is that he's mentored some of the greatest players in NBA history. He mentored Kobe Bryant, he mentored LeBron James, and he's currently mentoring Victor Wembanyama. So one of the goals when I was at the show, and one of the goals I've had for the past year, is to pick up, you know, top tier Olajuwon cards where the multiple of this versus a Jordan just doesn't make any sense. So a lot of the multiples on Olajuwon versus Jordan are in the 50 to 75 times. So what do I mean by that? There are some Olajuwon cards that are only $1,000 that sell in the Jordan version for 75 grand. That just makes no sense to me, and I understand why. Typically, when you look at a pool of investments, and this is true in the stock market, it's true in cards, the best of the best at the tail end outperform everything. And I understand that. But a 75-time multiplier on value, I think there's more of a chance that this Olajuwon card, say, goes from 1,000 to 2,000 than a Jordan goes from 75 to 150,000. I could be totally wrong on that. I mean, if anything else, the Jordan market has proven to be a rocket ship with no end. But that's just my way I look at it. And also, as a collector, there's a fun aspect to it. So I'd rather buy 10 or 20 cool Olajuwon cards than only buy one Jordan. And collecting Olajuwon is new. It's interesting. I'm learning a lot about the patches and the styles. But I thought this was a good pickup for the National. It's another pickup from the National, the Exquisite. Again, this card I got for about $800. I picked up a few more for $600 to $700 in this style. And again, this is a $40,000, $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 card if it's a Jordan. The cool thing I like about these Olajuwons with the older autos is that if you look at the signature, there's 3 points. There's the Akeem. He lifts up the pen and signs Olajuwon, and then he also numbers it. If you get Olajuwon at a private signing in 2026, when I'm filming this video, all he does is an H and a line. You don't get this great Olajuwon exemplar for the signature. So I think there's value in that. So these are all value plays in my opinion. Sick patch, cards out of 100. I just like the card. Same with this one. Very similar patch. The colors are just reversed. But again, like in a great Akeem Olajuwon signature, I got this one for about $800 as well. But same type of pickup. These UD Upper Deck Premier Remnants Babe Ruth. So these are pants. I believe these are 2007. So this one was interesting. So these are very tough to comp because the value in these cards, and I learned this from a collector of these, is in the number of pinstripes on the lettering. So if you look on the NYY, you see 3 pinstripes, the one on the left of the N and the 2 on the right of the double Ys. The triple pinstripes get a premium, but also the NYY swatch style gets a premium. And there's a different style, which I'll show you on the next slide. This one, if I recall, is at a 75. This card cost me about $2,200, but this is a premier example of this style card. And these swatches are from the pants that Babe Ruth wore. The next example is the 714, which is number of homers. I was told by this collector that the NYY, which is this one, is a higher premium than the 714. But the 714 on this example, again, triple pinstripes, but this one was numbered out of, I believe, 60, if I recall. And also Babe Ruth wore number 3, and this is out of 2, so I'm 1 off the number match. That doesn't matter, but that would have been cool. But I probably would have had to pay more. This one cost me about $2,300. I paid a little more for this one because of the lower number. But I think they're just 2 gorgeous cards, and they're going to go off the grading. So this card has an insane story at the show. So on day 2 at the show, I saw a version of this card. The dealer had a price for $4,000. If you look up the comps on this card, and I'm going to do it right now while I'm talking, this card rarely ever comes up for sale. I would term this a ghost card. So the last example that came up for sale that I could find was in 2003. It sold for $450. But what's crazy, if you go further back on this card, there are higher sales. So this card in 2021 in a BGS 9 sold for $2,000, and the card ladder's out at $6,000. I think some of these cards, you have to take advantage of eye appeal, availability, and trusting your instincts. This is a card that I don't care what the comps say or what it sells for. This is a great card that, especially to have in a showcase. You have Jordan, LeBron, Tiger, Wayne Gretzky, game worn. And you have the insane Tiger patch on the lower left. You have the color on the Gretzky. And yes, the Jordan and LeBron are white. But these are Grail cards, and this came out of, let me just pull it up again just so I remember, 2012 Upper Deck Quad Spokesman Fabrics. That's technically the name of the product. And these were employee exclusives that were given out as gifts. So this card is 14 years old. I had to pay up for this. I paid $2,300 for this. I'm going to send it out to get graded. I think this is a $3,000 or $4,000 card. At least I wouldn't sell it for less than that. I could care less what other people have sold it for. 4 GOATs, the best in their sports. And I've never seen this card in person. And I don't recall ever seeing it online for sale. Now, I never knew this card existed, but it's cool. So I had to pick it up. But to go back to the story that I kind of skipped over, I saw a different version of this card, same style on day 2. I was going to offer on it. I looked it up. When I went back to offer, the dealer sold it. So in a period of 90 seconds from when I saw it, it got about out from underneath me. On the last day of the show, on the second floor of the National, another dealer had this, and I scooped it up, and it was a different card. So by some miracle, there were 2 versions of this card in the room. I missed out on the first one, got the second one, super happy. This card I've had in my collection, I accidentally added to the album. Great Mickey Mantle, 1955 Bowman. Sweet autograph. Probably one I'll never sell, but that was that by accident. This card I picked up at the National. This is another player I feel is undervalued. Barry Bonds, on-card autos with the game-worn jerseys. The reason why these cards got my attention is that the Topps Dynasty in 2025 is the debut of Barry Bonds in that product. The on-card autos at a 10. with the big, chunky, colorful patches are going for 5 figures. I think there's a lot of value in the older style on card, older Bonds autographs with the game jerseys. These cards are 25 years old. Picking these up for between 700 and 900 bucks, I think they're no-brainers. So that's what I was doing as well. Let's see. Another Bonds I got in a trade. Acetate style. Again, 24 years old, Topps pristine. Excuse me. On-card Barry Bonds auto. Sick-looking card. And again, another value play. Picked this up from Mill Creek at the show. On-card vintage 1981 Topps Walter Payton. I believe I paid $500 or $600. Yes, the card is a little rough, but a ballpoint on-card Walter Payton auto is always going to be in demand. So I picked it up. Very happy with that purchase. This was a sleeper pick. 1998 Topps NWO Giant Autograph. This is the debut WWE NWO autograph set. I believe there's 37 wrestlers in the set. This set was featured in a recent PSA Magazine article. It's basically the holy grail of wrestling autographs. They're all on card. They're all gorgeous. And some of them are big money. Like there was a Randy Savage I was going to possibly purchase, but the dude wanted like $8,000 for the Savage and the auto was weak. So I passed on it. I was able to scoop this up. It was priced at $1,000. I got it for $825, which I thought was a steal. This one was a purchase. This was purchased on the very last table at the last 2 minutes of the show on day one. Khabib Gold Refractor. I believe this is a Pop 4 or a Pop 5 last time I checked. Insane card in hand. The picture doesn't do it justice. It was priced at $3,000. I picked it up for $2,200, which I thought was a steal in a 10. The out of 8 in a 10 recently did $7,500, so I felt comfortable for the out of 88 paying up for it. Another Khabib I got right before the National, the 2014 Bloodlines engraved Ignat. This card is actually metal, and it's thick and it's heavy. Cool card, numbered out of 109 of Khabib. This card I picked up at the show super cheap. I picked this up for like $140. On card Connor Auto. This is a great card to put out at a showcase at a show. I should be able to easily get $300-400 for this. No brainer. This was another part of a deal at a show. I got this with the Bonds acetate on the previous one. Bloodlines Connor. Great card. Low pop out of, I believe, 12 or 13. Just wanted to have it. Always good to have Connors in the case. This one I just picked up because I've always wanted this card. The Gina Carano 2008 Donruss Kings, numbered out of 400. Really cool looking patch. This is a great auto for her with Conviction. So that's her nickname. But a lot of the Conviction autographs go off the sticker. This one is actually pretty much on it. Looks like the C is close to the edge, but it doesn't go over it. But great auto. I got this for like $110. This, I just love the card. And she's a part of UFC history, so I had to have it. These were right before the National. These are 2 John Jones base PSA 8. I intended to bring these to the National, have John Jones sign them. So he was doing a signing at the National, his debut. But these cards are in such great condition. I didn't want to risk cracking them in the grade, getting nuked on the resub. So these 2, I just kept in the PSA 8 holder. Luckily, they've gone up pretty significantly. They've almost doubled since I purchased them. So they're great card show cards. So I'll keep those. These are part of a huge deal I did at the National. I purchased some really amazing John Jones cards from probably the biggest John Jones collector on planet Earth. He was kind enough to part with some of his collection and give me a fair pricing. And a lot of these cards coming up next are part of that collection. I'm just going to go through them. The John Jones out of 3. So this is going to be pretty cool. With the Champ, Relic. 1, 2, and 3. He had all 3 of these, and I was able to purchase all 3. Like, how cool is that? Triple Threads, Topps, great product. Great. Visually, just to see all 3 at once is awesome. Next is a ghost card, the John Jones autograph, Matt Relic out of 10. I forget what year this is, and that's my fault. I should have been a little bit more prepared for the video, but I've never seen this card for sale. And last time I looked up in Card Ladder, it wasn't even there. But an insane Matt John's Bones, wild. This one, dual autograph, John Jones, Chael Sonnen. Most of these cards, the John Jones auto goes off the bottom of the sticker. This is no exception. Still an amazing card, a great piece of history out of 25. This was part of the same collection. We go to like 2 insane cards. John Jones Silva, front and back, both BGS 8.5s, auto 10s. And what's sick is that both of them have dual color mats. I like this one because you see more of like that magenta red style. The one's on the left, but the one on the right is sick too. But ghost cards. These are numbered out of 25, and I'm happy to add 2 to my collection. Again, here we have the Triple Threads Relics. What year is that from? 2010. This one is numbered out of 10, I believe. John's Bones, Relic, sticker auto, sick card. We have the red ink 2012 John's Bones Jones. Gorgeous card out of 15. Like, look at John's Jones, like, dropping the elbow. Just, there's an icon. There's probably one more iconic image of Jones that I'm going to get to in a future card, but this card pretty much sums up what John Jones is about and his dominance. Just gorgeous. Next one, the Jones Cormier Dual Auto out of 10. These cards are a pain in the ass to grade. Usually the Jones autograph is off the sticker and there's like smearing on the auto. This card overall looked amazing and the autos are almost perfect. So I sent this out to grading as well, hoping to do some really good with that. This one is insane. This is a red auto out of 3. Booklet, 2012 champion. I mean, look at the size of that mat. Look at the size of the auto. But what's cool is that it's 3. I have 1 and 2. I have no idea where the third one is. Never been located. If you know someone that has it, I am a buyer. I'd like to complete the set. Just a gorgeous, rare relic, John Jones history. Next one, this one I picked up from a dealer in Singapore. Conor McGregor, Ronda Rousey, booklet, dual fight worn, and that one is out of 10 as well. That was before the National. I just had that in there. This one I picked up at Fanatics Fest from the UFC Cardfather. Stunning card in person. It looks like a mirror shining back at you. I sent it out to get slabbed up by BGS. You have 6 amazing fighters on there, but the Cormier and the Rousey did the heavy lifting. I want to thank the UFC Cardfather for that deal. This was one from the National. The 2010. I'm trying to look at the subgrades with the 10 centering and the 10 surface. So you have dual 10s on that. BGS 9, Auto 10, sick card. These are interesting stories. So these are 2017 UFC Knockout. The only way that the person would sell me these cards, I had to buy all 4. So this is the out of 3. Fight worn glove with the John Jones auto. So out of 3, this one's out of 3, and this one's out of 3. Wow, that photo came out a lot better. This one looks like crap, but they all look as good as this. But the seller would only give me off the whole set if I bought them all. So I have the Ghost 1 of 1. Very cool glove of John Jones, and I have all 4. Like, how insane is that? I can't understate how important it is that when great cards come up for sale, it's okay to negotiate a little bit within a small band of respectability. But the truth is, you're going to have to pay up. And if you believe in collecting and you believe in whatever it is, like I believe in John Jones, that long term, he will overtake Conor and his John Jones stuff is going to go to the stratosphere. I just think it's going to take a little bit of time, a little clever marketing, a little more presence at some of these card shows. That's the one thing with the National that was kind of a letdown, was that there was not one dedicated UFC table in the whole room, which blew my mind because there was dedicated wrestling, dedicated tennis, dedicated F1. Fanatics had dedicated tables for UFC, but not the National. And I'm pretty sure that's going to change next year. But the seriousness of the table dealing in UFC will help spark collectors to get it on their radar. But you got to pay up for great cards. It's just, there's no way around it. Unless you think everything's going to crash and you're going to be able to get stuff at a discount. I think for maybe cheaper cards, you can wait for that. But, you know, people have been waiting years to buy grails and they keep going up. So who's right or wrong? Time will tell. This is a box topper size Fistographs. This one was before the National. John Jones autograph, 8 out of 10 with the knuckle print on there, which is so sick. You'll never see these cards done again, in my opinion. I think that card companies are not doing these larger cards anymore, and they're certainly not going through the hassle of getting knuckle prints on cards. But this whole subset of cards is just gorgeous artwork, in my opinion. Like, this is a piece of art to me, and it's just stunning. It's just a great card. So this card has a cool story. This card I signed at the National by John Jones. Cost about $280 for him to sign it. This card is unique because it's a Topps Vault 1/1 card. So this slide is the back. This is the front. It's hard to see, but if you tilt the card at an angle, there's a slight embossment to the card that Topps put on. And on here, it says 1/1 on the hologram. Again, hard to see in the image. But I thought this was a sick card to get signed, and no one else in the world will have it. And just very cool. So, if I believe, let me see something real quick. Let me see where we're at on the next one. So this was another part of the lot that before I get to that, this I purchased at the National from somebody walking around the room. Some guy had this in his box. He was showing it to a dealer. I happened to walk up. The dealer was cool, letting me negotiate the price. I purchased it. I think I bought it for like $700. So that was that. This card is insane. So this was, again, part of the larger lot that I got at the National from a private collector. Same guy that sold me the Red Inks and the Jones lot of 4 that I showed in the previous slide. The 1/1 John Jones 2010 knockout. If I'm not mistaken, this is his first pack pulled 1/1 auto in history. And this card is insanely iconic. And I think this card has infinite value, in my opinion. If you believe in John Jones, like, imagine you were able to buy a Michael Jordan 1/1 autograph from his second year pack pulled. This is essentially that. There's not many cards better, in my opinion. Like, if you're going to do the top 20 John Jones cards of all time, this would break the top 20. I would make the argument it could break the top 10. Some people would argue that, but I think it would. So the next card is insane. The final card I'm going to show, I'm not even sure how to introduce this, but I have a video I want to play, which is also on my Instagram account. So I'm going to play the video. Hopefully it'll be picked up by the mic. Let me experiment with this. I probably should have tested it out, but let me see.
Great, sir. Can I get you to sign up on Yeah, of course. Are you a fan of cards by any chance?
Of cards?
Yeah.
I don't collect them, but I sign a lot of them.
So my boy has one of your biggest cards of all time.
Really?
2009.
That's a big
Look
one.
at that photo.
Yeah.
That is super
It's like a
cool.
$65,000 card.
No way.
Yeah.
Anything I can do to enhance the value? No, don't touch it, no?
You know it'd be cool? I mean, since you did that. Okay, so I kind of screwed that up, so I'm going to put it in high def and start over again.
Great, sir. Can I get you to sign up on Are you a fan of cards by any chance?
Of cards?
Yeah.
I don't collect them, but I sign a lot of them.
So my boy has one of your biggest cards of all time.
Yeah.
2009.
That's a big
Look
one.
at that photo.
Yeah.
That is super.
It's like a $65,000 card.
No way.
Yeah.
Anything I can do to enhance the value? No, don't touch it. No, just stop
You know,
touching it.
it'd be cool. I mean, since you did ask.
I wouldn't do it. No, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it.
So the video kind of cuts off a little bit because I put my phone down. But long story short, I had John Jones sign the back of the slab.
That's sick.
You are the man, dude.
It's a double sign.
Yeah, thank you so much. So he opened it up I opened it up from the plastic, gave him the card, he turned it over, and he signed the back of the slab, Bones 2026. So this video so my buddy that was in the video, Josh, he hit on meta glasses. His version of the video, which is much crisper and cleaner than the one I just did, he posted that on Instagram. And last time I checked, I want to make sure I have real-time data here so we're not lying. As of right now, it has 1.8 million views. So the video has gone viral. So why is that? So John Jones, it was his first signing at the National. Big deal. A lot of hardcore collectors there, but it also puts the UFC on the map. So this whole interaction happened on the fly. We didn't plan it. It wasn't part of the goal. And to be honest, I just happened to have the card in my pocket. And Josh kind of winged it when he went up there. I didn't know he was going to say any of that. But
Is that pleasure to meet you? Thank you so much, man.
$60,000 card?
60,000.
Now more.
Wow. Yeah.
Now possibly more, huh?
And I have like 7 of your one-on-ones in this case here. Dude.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
so that's basically the end of the video. But here's the card. Let me jump to the next. So the front of the card is this. His 2009 Ultimate Gear out of 25. BGS 85 Auto 10. Gorgeous card. I know a lot of people, and based on the math or on the finances, you can say his red ink is a better card. I would argue as time goes by, this card may overtake it. You can't underestimate the impact of the fighter-worn relic on the card, especially in today's modern collecting environment where Topps is pushing out more than ever the value of game-worn items. I mean, just today, the day before, they did a huge promo about Cooper Flag's debut patch from his NBA jersey, and there's been bounties in the millions of dollars. I think cards with relics and fight-worn gear or player-worn gear are, in the end of it, are going to win. It may take some time, but if I had a choice dollar for dollar of this card or the red ink, I would take this card. It's just an iconic image of Jones, hands up in victory, and the artwork on this card with the yellow and then the metal grating behind the autograph. It's just stunning. I think this is the perfect card, and if I had to rank them, this is Jones' #1 card overall. And just to get a better image, this is what he signed on the back, Bones 2026. And I put in a special protective case, not to smear it. But man, what a moment to get that card signed or the slab signed. And I mean, I had offers of in the 6 figures to buy this card right after. I had somebody to offer to do a trade worth 110, which I turned down. It wasn't cash, but they wanted to do trades. But I think the eyes on this card not only helps the whole UFC community, but also brings a sense of seriousness and passion to what type of collectors we are that are in the UFC space. I mean, I collect across all different realms. I collect Michael Jordan. I collect game-worn jerseys. I collect, Harry Potter books, like you name it. I've collected a little bit of everything in my life. I'm pretty confident in saying that I've never seen the passion of UFC collectors, their knowledge base, which puts me to shame. I mean, I'm still learning all this stuff. but what they collect, what they focus on, and how deep they go. And I think it's only going to take a little bit of time, especially if some of these really knowledgeable collectors out there can educate the younger collectors in this space or the newer collectors like myself. And then we get knowledge and we start to learn and we start to spend money and enjoy this. There is nothing more enjoyable to collect than UFC cards. And I'm not quite sure why. Collecting other things in other sports is not as interesting to me. I don't know if it's because of the primal nature of fighting. I don't know if it's because of the absoluteness of like win or lose. Growing up, I was a huge fan of boxing. Boxing was probably my first sport I really loved. I remember as a kid having boxing tournaments in my front lawn with my friends. And that was well before I got into Michael Jordan and other sports and football and basketball or whatever. But I think there's something just primal and cool about UFC and fighting, and it's part of human nature. But that's the recap of some of my national pickups. But national A+ all around. Everything went perfect for me, and I couldn't ask for a better experience. Met amazing people, amazing UFC collectors, and even now, like I'm talking to some UFC people on Instagram and Facebook, trying to work out some trades and trying to maybe get some of these items in the hands of other UFC collectors as well, but also to get some items back. So that's all I got for the video. Hopefully I'll be posting some more videos soon and trying to pick up the cadence of the videos. But thank you for sharing my national experience with me. It was a blast, and I will talk to you again soon.